Welcome to Bedtime Confessions. Welcome back to Bedtime Confessions. In today's episode, we're going to talk about self-sabotage. So, the question is, are you self-sabotaging? And usually, if you're watching this video, I hope it's no. But if it's yes, you're in the right place. Self-sabotaging is very common and might be more common than you think because maybe it's more nuanced, maybe it's not as extreme than you think, and maybe a lot of people are hiding it very well. So when you see people like being very successful and achieving everything and it looks like they're so put together and they're just like have this perfect routine that they stick to, sometimes it's a lie. So don't trust everything that you see online because everything is created to look perfect. So don't think that you're the only one self-sabotaging because I self-sabotage, your neighbors self-sabotage, your friends, family, they might self-sabotage. So there's more people self-sabotaging than you might think. So self-sabotaging, in my own personal definition, it's basically doing something that goes against your goals or who you want to be. So that could be like you want to cut out sugar, then self-sabotaging would be to eat sugar. Try and think what are all the different ways that you're self-sabotaging. And in this video, we're going to dive into some of the reasons that you might be self-sabotaging. So the first reason is that you might be self-sabotaging because your brain doesn't know what's next. This applies to goals that you have been trying to accomplish for years or for a very long time. So for example, in my own personal experience, I've been trying to lose weight for my entire life. I don't even remember when it started or when I started setting the goal, but I know it has been in the back of my mind for a very long time, and I'm talking like years, okay? So I've been wanting to lose a lot of weight for a very long time, right? So then my entire life right now, from what I remember, is I've always had that pursuit of losing weight and that pursuit of that goal. So that means that everything was somehow tied to that goal, and my brain was so familiar with having that pursuit of that goal that it's all it knew. So that means that in moments where I would be so close to reaching my goal, my brain would be like, wait, but I don't know what's coming next. So I need to maintain that pursuit of that goal. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to pursue after that. And that means that my brain is going to self-sabotage or help me self-sabotage myself and put obstacle into pursuing that goal and make me somewhat fail to reach that goal so that it would push back the date when I would accomplish that goal because I've had that goal for so long that it doesn't know what's next, and therefore to keep me safe and to keep me motivated to wake up every day, it wanted to preserve that goal. So that might be a reason. If you have a goal that you've been wanting to accomplish for a very, very, very long time, and you've kind of become comfortable in having that goal being such a constant in your life, then maybe your brain is trying to prevent you from reaching that goal because you're so comfortable in having that goal to accomplish. It doesn't matter how much you want to accomplish that goal. Like the motivation aspect of reaching that goal is not really important here. It's more so the concept of your brain not knowing what's coming next, and that's why it's preventing you from reaching that goal. So think about it. Because for me, once I realized that that was what was blocking me from reaching that goal, I decided to set new goals for after I lost the weight so that my brain knew what we're going to pursue after that so that it could create motivation for those other goals. And the goal of losing weight was not the main priority. So I wasn't obsessing over losing weight anymore, and I was obsessing over other goals that would make me thrive and become the person that I actually want to be. So if you don't know what's next, or if you have a goal that you've been wanting to achieve for a very long time, and once you accomplish that, you don't really know what else you want to accomplish, and think about other goals that you can implement so that your brain can create motivation for those goals instead of sabotaging the current goal that you're trying to pursue. The second reason why you might be self-sabotaging is because you're scared of the person you're going to become. Because that means that you're going to have a whole new identity, you'll have new routines, maybe a new environment, new relationships, and that means that you might have to sacrifice old relationships, old things that you know and that you like and that you find comfortable. And sometimes we don't want to sacrifice that for the person that we want to become. And self-sabotage enters the scene when the person that you want to keep and the person that you want to become are not the same, or things are not matching. And so you're self-sabotage because you want to preserve who you are right now instead of who you want to become, because you want to maintain what's comfortable and what you know. So if you feel like you're self-sabotaging because you don't really want to be that new person, or you're kind of scared because you don't really know what it's going to be like, if you're going to be fulfilled being that person, like, let me tell you that you will be so much happier growing into a new person than staying comfortable in where you are. Because you having that goal in the first place, or you having the desire to be someone else, means that you really want to be that person. It means that the person that you currently are is, yes, a good person, or you're somewhat satisfied with who you are. You have so much more potential to be someone even better. So yes, maybe saying goodbye to who you are right now is hard and you might not feel comfortable, but you need to grieve the person that you are now and allow that new person to enter your life, because it will bring so many new opportunities, experiences, things that you haven't even dreamt of. And who knows, why would you block yourself from that? Third reason why you might be self-sabotaging is because deep down you like the misery of the life that you're currently living. So you might be complaining, you might be in the victim mindset, you might be somewhat miserable about who you are right now, but some part of yourself likes that misery. Maybe because being a victim brings you attention. Maybe because of the people around you give you some sort of comfort from who you are right now, and you don't want to sacrifice that comfort for someone new that could potentially mean like less people around you, less satisfaction, less attention, less validation. And it will surprise you when I say that a lot of people prefer the validation, the attention, the misery over their dream life, pushing themselves, getting outside of the comfort zone. When you don't have to work hard on getting that validation yourself and being your own person, I think in a way it's very easy to get validation, attention from other people. Play the victim card, been there, done that. And it's easy. It's easy to play the victim because people, especially the right people, are going to be compassionate, empathetic, and will try to support you. And it feels good to have validation and attention like that. But not for long. At some point you'll be numb and you'll kind of need more. You know, it's kind of like getting hooked on a drug, and then at some point, like the level that you're taking is not enough. It doesn't give you that boost as much. Then you have to like increase the dosage. It's gonna feel like that, and so that means that at some point you'll be so miserable that you will not know how to get out of it. So instead of doing that, instead of letting yourself be happy in misery, start experiencing or opening your eyes that you could be happy in fulfillment. And that's such a better way to live your life. So say goodbye to that part of you that likes misery and start stepping out of the comfort zone so that you can seek the life that you actually want. Another very important reason why you might be self-sabotaging is because the goals that you're trying to achieve, you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for everyone else. You're doing it to prove someone wrong. You're trying to prove someone right. You're trying to prove. But we don't want to prove. We don't want to prove it to other people. We want to prove it to ourselves. And when you have these goals that are externally motivated, you usually end up not putting 100% into them because you deep down might not genuinely want to accomplish them. And that means it's so much easier to self-sabotage because it's like, well, I don't really want to achieve those goals anyway, so it's fine if I accomplish them a little later. It's fine if I take a little longer to get there. It's fine if, and then bring all of the excuses. But that's the problem, is like, why are you trying to build a life or accomplish goals for other people? They don't care. They don't care. Let me tell you, one thing that you have to remember is that nobody cares. Yes, they care about you as a person, but they ultimately, okay, how much do you care about other people? In terms of like, how much do you actually think about other people or think about their goals, think about what they're achieving, what they're failing at? I bet it's not a lot. I bet all you're thinking is like actually yourself. You're thinking about how much you succeeded, how much you're failing, what everyone thinks about you. I don't know. But everything you're thinking about is usually self-centered, which is like normal. It's so normal. It's called the spotlight effect or whatever the scientists have these days. But no one cares about what you're doing. That means that accomplishing those goals for other people is so useless. Because yes, you might prove them wrong, but then like they'll forget in like a second. They'll be like, oh cool, I guess you were right. Bam, forgot. And you'll be like, damn, I put 6 months into this, and then they don't even care. And then you'll build resentment, or you'll build anger from that reaction or whatever. So stop all the goals that you're trying to accomplish for other people, because it's so useless, especially if you don't want that goal yourself. If you have a goal and yes, you could prove someone wrong with it, but it's also a personal goal that you've been wanting to fulfill, yes, go for it. Fine. Be petty about it, but go for it. Especially if it's like both internal and external motivated, fine. Let's use that as a compromise. But if they're only externally motivated, let them go, because it's so useless. You don't need them. It's a waste of time. The only goals that are necessary for you, or that are worthy of your time and effort and motivation and ambition, are the goals that you actually want to succeed. So anything else, to the trash. Because we don't want that. We don't want to waste our time doing things for other people. We want to do things for ourselves. Okay? Got that? Great. And then my last reason of why you might be self-sabotaging is because you don't trust yourself to become a new version. You don't trust yourself into that new identity, the new person that you want to become. Why though? You've survived every day until now. You have all the skills and capacity to be this new version of yourself. And the thing is, like, that identity, you're not going to get it like in the blink of an eye. It will progressively replace the identity that you have right now. So you will have that progressive transition into who you want to become. So don't be scared about who you're going to become, because you'll get there slowly and steadily in a healthy way. So self-sabotage here manifests because you're basically mentally, subconsciously trying to push back the day until you have to become that new person. But it's gonna come, because you want it. You want to be that new version. Because being who you are right now, it's great. Like, if you're a great person and you like who you are right now, it's fine. But the thing is, like, we are meant to grow. That's why we love challenges. That's why we love performance. That's why we love to push past our boundaries. That's why we love new connections, new friendships. We are meant to grow. That means experiencing new things. And that means changing who we are progressively. It doesn't have to be so black and white or so like dramatic, like a dramatic change or whatever. No, but it has to grow. You have to grow. That's why we grow older. You have to grow your mind as well as growing physically. Because then it's like, why would you be a child in a 60-year-old like body? You have to grow with it. So instead of thinking of like, oh, I need to change my whole identity and keep growing, like, no, like, naturally it will happen. So don't self-sabotage it. Don't try and limit the growth. Like, let it flow. Like, encourage challenges, encourage new things, new opportunities, new experiences, new fears, new like anything. Just try it. As long as it's not dangerous or illegal, like, go for it, because then it will make you grow and it'll make you appreciate who you are, who you're becoming, the people around you, and it's gonna be great. Honestly, it's gonna be great. Just for the fact that it's gonna be great, you should do it. So that's my last reason, is that don't be scared of who you're gonna be, because you need to grow. Instead of self-sabotaging that person away, take it one day at a time, because you are capable of handling anything that comes your way, because you have potential. Everyone has potential. I believe in you. And if you have the thought of someone you want to be, go for it. You have one life. So experience it fully. Try the career that you want to try. Do the art, sing your lungs out, like fall for the boy, you know? Not for the wrong boy, please, because sometimes the heart gets crushed. But it's okay because we're meant to fall in love too, right? So that's gonna be where I'm gonna leave you off here in this video. I hope you enjoyed this topic of self-sabotage. I know it's hard. I know it's very easy to come here and say all these reasons. I know it's hard. Like, believe me, I've been there often. But you can do it. You need to just commit to yourself and who you want to become and trust that the change will be beneficial. Because it always is. It always is. Because when you have that little nudge in your head, that little thought of like, oh, I really want to become this new person, that means you're already on your way to becoming that new person, because you wouldn't have that thought if you were very happy and content in who you are right now. And yes, you can be content in your identity, but usually after a few years, you will feel like you need to expand, and that's just natural. It's not greedy, it's not anything negative. Everyone feels that. Everyone wants to expand and grow as a human. So trust that nudge, trust that voice, that intuition that you need to do more. Because you can do more. You can do so much more. You can go for your dreams, reach for the skies. You have everything you need to do that. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna leave you here. Have a great night, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!